All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. So the Houston Texans, coming off a 10-7 season with rookie head coach DeMeco Ryans, rookie quarterback C.J. Stroud, rookie defensive end Will Anderson Jr., Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Guys are flashing. Guys flashed the entire season. They went 10-7. They won the damn division, and then they obliterate the Cleveland Browns in the first game of the playoffs. And folks, unfortunately, they didn't end up making the conference championship, but one hell of a season. You know, this was as good as you could have possibly asked for if you are a Houston Texans fan. And we have free agency beginning in exactly 2 weeks from the time of this recording. And we have been talking about the ruminations between Saquan Barkley, CJ Stroud, Tank Dell, Nico Collins. This dude, Saquon Barkley, is following what feels like every single member of the Houston Texans in the last couple of weeks. And yeah, free agency begins in less than 2 weeks away, and I'm pretty sure Saquon will be a member of the Houston Texans. But Giants running back, here's the rumor. Giants running back Saquon Barkley has been in contact with CJ Stroud and is targeting the Texans as his top potential destination in free agency, per Aaron Wilson, NFL. The headliner of the running back free agent class is New York Giants star Saquon Barkley, who has targeted the Texans as his top potential destination and has been communicating with Stroud per league sources. So we're going to be talking a little bit about the Houston Texans offseason, mainly offensively speaking. All right. So before we get into tonight's video, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Texans fans, as always, you guys continue to bless every video I post. And we got a juicy, fun, active offseason for your squad. So if we try and get this video to 250 likes, that would mean the absolute world to me. So real quick on the Texans running back room, you got Devin Singletary, who in my opinion, it's crazy because he had a career season. He's a dual threat guy, and he had 898 rushing yards, and he had a career year. He was a free agent signing on a one-year deal. I don't think Saquon or no Saquon that he'll be back next season as Houston. I do think they'll look to significantly upgrade it regardless. But the crazy thing is he took Dameon Pierce's starting role relative like about halfway through the season. Damian had a year to forget, but he still got 2 years under contract. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Devin Singletary had such a sneaky season. He had an incredible second half, and we kind of saw, especially when Tank Dell went down with that injury, we kind of saw the potential of what the Houston Texans offense is going to look like in the next couple of years. And when we look at running backs, this is a good free agent running class. You got Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Gus Edwards, Josh Jacobs, Zach Moss, Austin Eckler, Antonio Gibson, Devin Singletary. It's crazy, man. The Houston Texans were the 10th worst rushing offense in the league, and they're about to severely bolster it. So I just wanted to give some flowers, some roses to Devin Singletary because the dude had a phenomenal season. Like, he had a phenomenal second half, and a lot of this is, he's on my fantasy team who ended up winning it all. Thank you. But the dude was a stud. And if you were to go out there and you were to acquire Saquon Barkley, SB Nation, I don't know if that's Sports Illustrated or SB Nation, put out a poll: which free agency running back should the Texans sign? 65% of fans said Saquon Barkley, 18% said Devin Singletary, and 17% said Derrick Henry. I don't know why, I've got this weird feeling that Derrick Henry will be a member of the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like he fits that pretty well. But with Saquon Barkley, you're getting an absolute animal. This dude has, and by the way, people are so concerned about injuries. He's played over 13 games. Keep in mind, a couple of years ago, they moved the games from 16 to 17. He's played over 13 games every season of his career except one. So 5 out of 6 seasons, he's played every single or over 13 games. This past season, 14 games. The Giants were just an absolute dumpster fire as far as offense and as far as the entire team goes. But last season, or I guess now 2 seasons ago, he had a Pro Bowl, 16 games played, 295 rushing attempts, over 1,300 yards, 10 total touchdowns. The dude was an animal. 4.4 yards per carry. And when we take a look at the Houston Texans offense, if you're going to give me a star running back to pair up with CJ Stroud coming off a phenomenal rookie season, one of the best we've ever seen, especially recently, and we're going to pair that up with Nico Collins and Tank Dell, that's got me licking my chops, and I know Texans fans are as well. And once again, that was the list there. I wouldn't be surprised if I would be pretty surprised actually if Saquon Barkley wasn't a member of the Houston Texans. Let's move on to the wide receiver room because this is a point of emphasis. All right, so Nico Collins had officially his breakout season, 80 total catches, about 1,300 total yards. He had 8 receiving touchdowns. He averaged over 16 yards per reception. And Tank Dell, the rookie, was an absolute animal all throughout the season. Like, he's a walking big play. He also averaged over 15 yards per reception, 47 catches, 709 yards. The only issue is he went down with an injury. So once they got into the final stretch of the season and once they got into the playoffs, it was pretty much just Nico Collins and Dalton Schultz. Now, Dalton Schultz as well is set to be a free agent, much like Devin Singletary, where these guys are just hitting. They hit so well on veteran moves. Like, they just hit so well on veteran players. Dalton Schultz, 59 catches, 635 yards. I've got a feeling that he's going to be back. But outside of that, man, you got Noah Brown, who actually really chipped in, 33 catches, 567 yards. He averaged over 17 yards per catch. You had Robert Woods chipping in with 426 receiving yards. I've got my backup tight end and Brevin Jordan. Losing hope, which really sucks on John Mechie III because, he's got a real great story and he's a really good athlete. But I am not going to wait around for these guys or for like him specifically to develop. So they're going to get a wide receiver. And, I don't think Mike Evans is in their best interest. And to be quite honest with you, man, I don't think Calvin Ridley or Michael Pittman Jr., I don't even really think those are players that Houston needs to go out there and acquire. Now, they've got cap space, they've got money, and you've got CJ Stroud. But I just don't really see them making a big-time splash like that. I don't really particularly love Mike Evans' fit on this team. T. Higgins just got the franchise tag, but you do have some potential wide receiver threes out there. And, with Tank just having so much intrigue and Nico really breaking out, I do expect them to bolster it. I think they'll probably pick up a veteran wide receiver and pick up a wide receiver or two later on in the draft. Some guys they could look into: Gabe Davis, Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel might be my favorite pick for this Houston team. Josh Reynolds, which would be really solid. Hollywood Brown, Darnell Mooney, and Cedric Wilson. All of these, by the way, are from HoustonFootball.com. They're going to make a move at the wide receiver position. So I got a couple of questions from a Texans fan. I got 3, actually. Saquon Barkley, yes or no, right? If it's a no, who do you want? If you don't pick up Saquon, who do you want? Do you want to re-sign Devin Singletary? And then the wide receiver position. Are you all set on a guy like Mike Evans? Are you all set on a guy like Michael Pittman Jr.? What free agent would you like to see Houston go after at the wide receiver market? And then what are you looking to do at the tight end position if Dalton Schultz was not re-signed? Let me know if you want to re-sign Dalton Schultz. So that's it for me. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. We post a ton of Texans videos on this channel. Thank you guys for watching. Drop those comments down below and have a great rest of your night.